Call the meeting to order. Please stand for pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, please call the roll. Here. Okay, I'll accept the motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel matters, update of pending litigation, employment, and executive board minutes. Collective bargaining.
I would like to make more of that to this also.
Yeah, too much stuff to do, you know. There's a motion, is there?
What is that?
So moved.
I didn't hear it either.
You didn't, okay. I'll accept the motion to go into executive session for the discussion of personnel matters. Update. Well, he can't, if he's on the second or whatever, the motion, I mean, he's not part of that right there. So it was moved by trustee Grant. Okay, so obviously, you don't want to go into executive session at this time,
Mr. Mayor?
but you, well, if it's not passed, then it's not passed.
I would like to make a motion to move items 2 and 3 down. Amend the agenda.
That's not how you do it. You don't just. Oh, that's sure. Make a motion to suspend the rules, like you said before.
Mr. Mayor? I would like to make a motion to suspend.
We can't hear you, please.
I'd like to suspend the rules to amend the agenda.
No, he made a motion. Motion by trustee Bell, second by trustee Todd, to suspend the rules and to, for the purpose of changing the agenda. And what did you want to insert the?
I'd like to move items 2 and 3 to the end.
Where would you like to insert
Oh,
it?
let's see. How about we make number 11 C and D?
11C.
Well, it's 2 items, sir.
Well, 3 is automatic, but you're gonna read it there, so that's automatic. Okay, so you want to make it item 9B?
Items 12 and item 13 will be the adjournment.
No.
So it has to be before or after.
Make it, so then, make it number 11 and then change the other 2 to 12 or 13.
You want to make it, put the executive session in and insert that in number 11? As number 11 and make number 11 number 12, is that what you say?
Yep, and 13 for the adjournment. Thank you.
Because we have to go to the new business.
You should make it 12. We'll go through 11. If
That's
that
what I'm
time to
saying.
go to executive session, it'll be 12.
Okay. Okay.
12 and 13. And the reason I want problem is people that y'all got on the enumeration of the precinct. So 12 is a bad one.
Yeah.
13 is recommitted. That.
Yes, ma'am.
The 14 was reserved. Motion on the floor. It was moved by trustee Bell, second by trustee Todd. Any other questions? Madam Clerk?
Trustee Bell?
Yes.
Trustee Brewer? Yes. Trustee Grant?
No.
Trustee Jazinski?
Yes.
Trustee Todd? Yes. Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Motion carried. Item number 4, approval of minutes.
Yes.
I mean, there's something before I ask for motion.
Yes.
Okay.
Trustees, sent a couple of changes. One, a couple of days ago that I was able to entertain. The other ones that I saw today were basically the same ones that were recommended by trustee Williams, with the exception of the roll call vote. You have an underline under the name that needs to be changed. Other than that, the requested changes have been made, except for one other one. I was asked to remove the mayor's comments because it was stated that it was omitted from the agenda. At board meetings, the comments go right along with your reports. Like if you look at number 8, it's the reports of trustees, standing committees, and comments. The same is true with the mayor. However, because comments is not listed under his mayor's report, he generally gives his toward the end. It is the way it normally is, so there was no change to that one.
Mr. Mayor?
Is this pertaining to item number 4?
Is pertaining to the comments made by the clerk. Yes.
Yes.
There was a time for many, many years that at the end of the agenda, there was room for general comments from the mayor and the board. That has been removed,
Yes.
so it's no longer on the agenda
Yes,
to
it
make
is.
comments.
It is. It is on there, and it was done 3 years ago that the comments would go along with the trustees' report. That was done, like I said, about 3 years ago.
Well, I would respectfully request that we add back, prior to adjournment, general comments from the mayor and the board of trustees, so that we all have an opportunity to comment on reports that were made throughout the
Okay, well, we'll have to bring that up at, bring it up at the committee meeting,
That's fine.
and we can vote on, we could have it discussed at that time.
That's fine. And my second comment is the changes that I requested as far as the sequence, that the minutes do not follow the sequence of the agenda, has not been changed, so I will be voting no on the minutes. Thank you.
Okay, now, my question was, that's what I was asking, I haven't had a motion yet, so that's why I was wondering, that would have came at the time of the motion after, when I asked the question. So, with the approval of the minutes, I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes. Receive the regular board meeting of November 12, 2019, with the recommended changes as needed.
So moved.
Okay, it was lost, it was, I need a second. I'm sorry. I'll ask for a second, I thought you make a motion to add a second. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved by trustee, Grant, second by trustee Jazinski. Any questions? Madam Clerk?
I just have a comment.
Yes.
Well, I've actually a question. And I submitted my changes late. But piggybacking off what trustee Williams said, there, under unfinished business, there's several things. There's only one thing listed, but if you look at our agenda, it would have had several other things under it that would have been under old business or unfinished business. And then the rest would have been new business. I will approve the minutes if this is going to get changed and go according to the agenda. And that's my.
Let me understand what you're saying. You're saying that what should be under unfinished business? Oh,
But as I said, I give it until today.
okay,
Right.
so that was the corrections, okay. All right, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Brewer?
No.
Trustee Grant?
Yes.
Trustee Jazinski?
Yes.
Trustee Todd?
Yes.
Trustee Williams?
No.
Trustee Bell?
No.
Mayor votes yes. Motion carried. All right, public comment. All questions and comments must be directed to the mayor. Each speaker may comment on any matter pertaining to the business of Sauk Village. Each speaker is allowed one opportunity to speak up to 3 minutes and may not engage in debate. Comment, replies, rebuttals. I'll listen to all comments and I'll answer them at the end. Please state your name when you come up.
Head couch. Since we are having a proclamation tonight for our retired dog Falco, there are several residents that would like to make a presentation to Falco after your proclamation. If we could do that at the time when you do your proclamation. Is that permissible?
Sure. I mean, you're asking that, do it at
If we can
that
make a
time?
presentation.
Sure.
Okay. Also, I'd like to question, I went on the website looking for some past minutes, and I'm finding there's some real big gaps in the minutes that are on the website, and I need to find out if those are just missing in action, or if they were not taken during that period of time. So I will be contacting the clerk or whoever does post the minutes on the website to find out where those missing minutes are, because I need them. Thank you.
Patty Parker. I know they're not police officers here tonight because it's a special occasion.
I'm sorry, give me a minute.
Heidi Parker. I know there are a lot of police officers here tonight because it's a special occasion. What I want to refer to is last committee meeting. I noticed there was an officer in attendance here. And I would like your mayor to explain the reason for this officer being here, why he's being pulled from his patrol on the street. There's a lot of crime in this village, and we need every officer out there. And I would like an explanation. Number two, I watched in this movie that you're not allowing the trustees to finish their comments at the end of the meeting. Anyone watching the videos from the Haynes administration, which is still on YouTube, will witness you grandstanding for up to an hour, repeating yourself constantly, and no one stopped you. Are you not allowing the trustees to do the same? Not that they would do that. The trustees speak for the residents. Are you stopping them from their voice? You are stopping our voice.
Okay,
Judy Gass here. I want to add to what Heidi had to say. I feel that the trustees are supposed to be speaking for the residents, and they're not being allowed to do that because they're not being allowed to get the information that they need. I also
want to ask where we're at with the forensic audit. We asked for that immediately upon the new election due to the happenings of Mr. Mohan leaving, other people coming in. It would have been the smart thing to do to have a forensic audit and find out exactly where our money is before we point fingers at people. That's never happened, and all of a sudden it's dropped like a hot potato. I'd like to know why, and is that still a possibility? And if not, why not? I also, I'll leave that for another time. Thank you.
If any need to ask us any more? Okay, as far as the minutes, we'll have to make sure that the person that puts them on there gets them on there in time. As far as the officer being in attendance, right now that was something that was discussed. And the officer is there because we had a few problems at the meeting, so that's why the officer has been there. And hopefully we don't have any more. We can, look at that and make sure, but right now, we had a few altercations, and that's why the officer was there. As a matter of fact, we had somebody on the board actually call police. So, as far as the trustees not getting the chance to speak, that's not true. They speak when they're when they have their reports, and then also when they have their comments. But if a trustee is saying something that I know to be wrong, yes, I'll try to correct that right there, just to let it go on. It's not about me stopping the person. I'm just reiterating that if they're saying something that's not factual, then that's what I will do. But as far as them not having a chance to get the facts, most of the trustees are here, come up here every week. They ask the staff a lot of questions. Matter of fact, some of them keeping the staff there 15, 20, 25 minutes. I'm sure they're getting what they're asking for. I don't know. I'm not following behind a person when they come up. But to say that they're not getting their facts, that fact is wrong. Because if they need to ask for something, I'm sure they're asking for it, and I'm hoping that they're getting the answers. If they're not getting the answers, I'm not aware of that. No one has told me that they're asking for something and they're not getting it. And the forensic audit, I think the last time when it was talked about, it wasn't in the budget. So that's the reason why that didn't happen. So I don't know what else to say on that matter. Okay, that being said, the next item the reports. And I have a few items. First of all, I have the State of the Village address that I'd like to present tonight. And I will do that. To the residents and businesses of the Sauk Village, good evening and thank you all for attending tonight. I continue to be very humble and proud to serve as your mayor and to present you with my third State of the Village address. From January to May of 2019, our administration has continued to make significant progress on getting our village back on track. I attribute that success to the hard work of professionals who are dedicated to serve our residents and community. A special thanks goes out to our current administration and the following: Village Treasurer and former Finance Director Anthony Finch, former Director of Economic Development Joseph Wizardwadi, former administrative assistant Mary Klopp, former finance director Judith Suffner, former HR consultant Dr. Alicia Straughter, former fire chief Alan Stauffagen, former trustees Cecil Tate, Besu Pond, Ron Carter, community development director Tanya McCoy, Director of Public Works Kevin Weller, Police Chief Malcolm White, Director of EMA Alan Vavert, and Village Clerk Ms. Margaret Campbell Fuller. I would like to thank the trustees who supported our strategic plan for progress and work to ensure we move forward on that pathway. Also, a special thank you to all of our employees who continue to serve our residents. I want to also say thank you to all those who volunteer in many capacities in our village. You are an important link between our residents, businesses, and the village board. As always, I want to thank God, who is the head of my life, for his blessings upon our community. I want to address some of the highlights of our successes. Number one, adopted responsible financial policies and procedures. Adopted a balanced and responsible budget with realistic projections. Reduced our overall deficit by $2 million. Established the village's first ever reserve fund. Stopped regularly taking money out of the water fund. Implemented an automated payroll system. Reduced our overall financial risk. Refinanced bonds that save us $160,000 in interest. Approved a bond issue that will provide $2.5 million for infrastructure improvements. Reduced our legal bills by $400,000 per year. Reduced our legal exposure by sound HR practices. Our aging report, backlog of unpaid bills, which normally routinely exceeded $1 million has been virtually eliminated. We lowered our property tax levy by 21.9%, which did reduce property tax burden for residents and the business. We have made big strides in economic development. We celebrated the grand opening of the Gas and Watch, which is a 12,000 square foot retail convenience store, a second Dunkin' Donuts, Pop's roast beef, and a state-of-the-art car wash. We opened 10 new businesses in formerly vacant retail spaces, all within 1 year. They are Andrea's Pub, Sherry's Place, Sauk Village Academy, Drip, BFF Banquet, Isha's Divine Salon, Sugar Shack, Amy's Cafe, Rosie, Tattoos, and Judy's Place. Revenues from gaming have increased by 60% a year over year. I want to thank all the business partners and to our residents for supporting them who have contributed to the success we shared in Sauk Village. All of these successes have created 100 new jobs in Sauk Village this year alone. Some other successes we had in 2019. In March, the village board unanimously approved this new village comprehensive plan. It is a 10-year blueprint of the direction we envision for the village. It is an action plan to pursue balanced growth and improve neighborhoods and create a quality environment for residents and businesses. We have already made significant progress in the following areas. Transportation. The village secured funding through Cook County's Invest in Cook program to study the development of a multi-use path from Bloom Trail High School to the Plum Creek Forest Reserve, primarily along Sauk Trail and 223rd Street. This will fill a critical gap in our mobility network and safely connect pedestrians and bicyclists to key destinations in the village, such as schools, parks, and commercial areas. The project will also support transit ridership by providing access to Pace Bus, Route 358. Infrastructure. In 2019, the village also took important steps toward the development of a capital improvement program, which will be the blueprint for planning the community's capital expenditures. A village-wide pavement condition analysis was performed across all local roads, and a water loss audit will be conducted early this year. These studies are being provided at no cost to the village through our partnerships with the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning and the Chicago Metropolitan Planning Council and will help us prioritize capital projects and purchases in the future. Housing. The village also began a partnership with a program called Homes for a Changing Region to understand the strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities of the local housing market. Our program partners, including the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus, will assemble an expert panel next month to provide input on our most pressing housing issues and ultimately develop an action plan outlining policy recommendations to help ensure that we can continue to grow with a strong housing market that serves all of our residents, businesses, and institutions. Economic development. A study of possible road and rail alignments within the logistics center officially kicked off in June of 2019. The project, which is being funded through the Invest and Cook program, includes preliminary engineering for the extensions of Winpack Way and the CN Railroad spurs to directly serve vacant sites within the industrial park. At the same time, an environmental assessment is being conducted through Cook County's U.S. EPA Brownfield Assessment Grant Program to help spur economic and sustainable development. We will be looking to utilize this assessment grant and related cleanup funding in other areas in the village in 2020. Implementation. To assist us with these projects and move, we welcome our first village planner to the staff in 2019 through the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning pilot program that places planners in communities throughout our region to serve as temporary part-time staff, providing flexible support for up to a 2-year period. Our village planner will continue working with us in 2020 to build our internal capacity and long-range strategic planning into all that we do. Ladies and gentlemen, this is progress. These have been major steps in our journey on the pathway to progress. So, where are we going in 2020? My 2020 vision for Sauk Village will be continued to stay focused on the pathway to progress. Our current administration has a renewed commitment to approach our goals with more energy and drive for the future of our community and focus on success. Continued accountability, continued balanced budgets, greater security for our residents, and expansion of youth services. Yes, we know we have problems, and we must resolve the critical issues that our residents have continually identified and not just talk about them. We have received and utilized over $1.9 million in grants in 2017 up until 2019. The village board and administrator are tasked to continue our work toward obtaining much needed grant money for our community. I'm confident that with the support of the residents of Sauk Village, we will continue to achieve this great thing. And I thank you for coming out tonight. Thank you. Also from there's a program coming from the Cook County Board of Review, and it reads, I want to let everyone know about a new program administered by the Cook County Board of Review and ask for your help. Cook County residents are now eligible to apply for a surviving spouse tax abatement. The Cook County Board of Commissioners of the City of Chicago and the City of Chicago Council have passed ordinances to authorize a property tax abatement for the jurisdictions in the surviving spouses, for the surviving spouses of Cook County's fallen heroes. The program serves surviving spouses of a fallen police officer, soldier, or rescue worker. This program will recognize and honor the ongoing impact of this sacrifice on these families. The program can abate up to 100% of a surviving spouse, Cook County or City of Chicago property tax liability. It goes on. Cook County Board of Review will administer the program. The surviving spouses apply for the abatement with us. It is spearheaded by Cook County Commissioners Michael Carbon. Carpenter, A-R-G-I. I do have his phone number. His phone number is Eric, well, his secretary's phone number is Eric 302-603-5542. At the end of the meeting, if anyone wants a copy of this, to find out what they can do to apply for this particular grant, please come up and I'll give that to them. That being said, Village Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just have three things that I would want to present at this point, really four. First thing, I would like to announce that we are planning a candidates forum for February the 27th at 6:00 p.m. Each candidate that is running, that would be representing the village of Sauk Village, will be invited to come to participate in the forum, so that you, the residents, will have an opportunity to meet them, and they will have an opportunity to hear what your concerns are and the questions that you would have of them. So I'm really hoping, and the mayor is really hoping, that we would really be out and ask those hard questions and make certain that as we are voting for whomever we're voting for, we can be assured that they are representing how you would want to be represented by them. Second thing that I would want to say to you is on the back table is the Republic residential waste schedule. And I think I made enough copies for everybody that's in the ordinance at this point. If not, then I can make more. On the back table, also under the resources, is a list of the 2020 dates and times for our regularly scheduled meetings as approved by the resolution at the January 14th meeting. And there, I'm going to leave it at that. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Village Administrator, Mr. Chris Williams.
No report right now.
Pardon me? Okay. Village Engineer, Mr. Jim Zardi.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have prepared the annual NPDES Phase 2 stormwater compliance letter to submit to the village regarding the tasks necessary to maintain compliance with the IEPA's requirements. I have also requested a date to hold the annual public hearing to report the village's progress and plans for the NPDES Phase 2 program. And that concludes my report. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Treasury Report, Mr. Anthony Finch.
Thank you, Mayor, Madam Clerk, Board of Trustees. As of today, January 24th, we have the following balances. In the corporate account, $224,223. The reserve is $800,000. Water sewer, $728,080. Water sewer EPA account is $150,162. And we still have the line of credit of $500,000 for a total of $2,402,465 in unrestricted funds. In the CN account, we have $42,402. The DEA account, $147,958. In the Sauk Village Housing account, $1,423. In the TIF account, $599,997. In the toll account, $13,704. In the holy money laundry account, $18,185. In the drug spending account, $24,215. In the money laundry spending account, $896. In MFT, $210,026, for a total total restricted funds of $1,058,806. That concludes my treasury report. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Finch,
Yes.
can I have a copy of that?
Yes, I didn't not have a copy of you guys, but I will have a copy this evening as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's what I was going to ask. Okay, reports of departments. Again, finance group and administrative intern, Ms. Anthony.
Thank you, Mayor, Madam Clerk, and Board. My accounts payable payroll disbursement report as of January Tonight, payroll last week was $128,114.02. The accounts payable for this evening approval is $309,526.38, for a total disbursement of $437,640.58. That concludes my finance report. Thank you.
Thank you. Fire Department Chief Barrett.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The fire department responded to 14 calls for the service period of January 9th through January 23rd. I'm happy to report that there were no major incidents. We are currently working with Pangea Realty and WinPat to reduce the number of false alarms to those locations. Improvements has and will continue to be made to the fire station. Our personnel donates their time and talents to make these much needed improvements. And again, we welcome all to come see the changes that we've made thus far. We're testing, we actually just put into place today a new alert system called Active 911. This system alerts us when we get a call via smartphones. It gives our personnel the ability to see who's responding to each call. And we also have a television put up in the station that's strategically located in the station that display the same information. Another firefighter was sworn in last week. That's Mr. William Foose. He comes to us with a lot of knowledge, wisdom, and certifications. This brings our current roster up to 19, which I'm happy to see. We also have a son of one of our engineers who's interested in joining the department. Also, if you look out in on the lawn, you will see a board, a plaque out explaining our upcoming golf outing, which is June 27th. Also, there's some brochures out in the back in the hallway for anybody that's interested. And that concludes my report. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. The next report, Police Department Chief White, do you want me to read the proclamation report?
No. You want me to my report first?
Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Village Board. Between the period of last board meeting, which was 15th, or the day after, so tonight, the police department responded to 470 calls for service. During that same time period, we made a total of 20 arrests. And we can proceed with, we want to bring our canine officer forward and his handler officer Ferguson.
Okay, there's a proclamation in honor of retired Canine Officer Falco. Whereas Canine Officer Falco was appointed to the position of Canine Police Officer with the Sauk Village Police Department in 2014 and served faithfully until 2019. Whereas Canine Officer Falco, during his tenure with the Sauk Village Police Department, had over 300 deployments in various capacities, including narcotics searches, human trafficking, fugitive apprehension. While serving as a canine officer for Sauk Village, he assisted numerous outside agencies, including the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI Fugitive Task Force, and the Illinois State Police. And whereas Canine Officer Falco assisted officers in seizing nearly 10,000 grams of illegal drugs, 40 firearms, and over $90,000 in United States currency. Therefore, be it resolved by Mayor Derek Burgess and the board and the Village Board of Sauk Village that we do extend our sincere and heartfelt gratitude to Canine Officer Falco for his years and service to our residents and the staff at the Village of Sauk Village. Be it further resolved that a copy of this proclamation will be given to the K-9 officer Falco, and one will be placed in our file done this 28th day of January 2020. I would congratulate you, Falcon, but always you shake hands on that. That's a, oh, you're going the right one. You said you had something else? There's another presentation. You might want to stay right there. Okay. There's a mic.
On behalf of all the residents here tonight and the ones that aren't here tonight, that recognize what Falco has done for our village, for the public, for all the residents, we are grateful. And we have some of the residents that would like to make a presentation.
Everybody's standing in front of it.
The cord came out.
Yeah, they're all standing in front of it.
You want to slide
It's okay.
Oh, man, it's awful. Okay.
It's in there, like. It's okay.
This is our dog.
Taking my stuff.
Okay. Item D. Emergency Management Agency, Director Allen Stanley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Madam Clerk, Board of Trustees, and the residents of Sauk Village. Sauk Village EMA responded to 6 calls of service from the time period of January 1 to 24 January of this year. There as follows: an AOA, which is assist other agency for Linwood for a structure fire, We assisted Stayer with a structure fire. We had a car fire on 394 on Glenwood Dyer Road. We had 2 accidents, and another assisted another agency for Creek for an auto accident when we had that snowstorm just earlier on. With the changing weathers, I know we don't have it right now, but with the changing weathers, please make sure you drive carefully, give yourself enough time. Make sure your headlights and taillights are clear so you can see them. It's hard to see new working headlights and taillights when they're covered up with snow. Also to remember, when you see an emergency vehicle, which is a police officer's car, a fire truck, ambulance, emergency services, tow trucks, or even a personal vehicle with 4-way flashers on, please move to the right or to the left, whichever way. It is the new Scots law. It's been in existence for quite some time. Also too, in March of this year, there's going to be a pipeline training class hosted by Paragon. EMA will be attending that. Time and dates will be determined later on. Also too, EMA is still looking for new responders to join the department. This will conclude my report at this time. Thank you, Mayor, Madam Clerk, Board of Trustees, and residents of Sauk Village.
Thank you. Public Works Director Kevin Willett.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Quick report this time. Staff has been out on the south side of town starting our shut-off list, currently 178. This should take several days to complete. Staff has also been given a updated dig and jet list, a total of 16. 6 were jetted and they work. 9 are left to be dug up. 2 have been called in. We ask residents at these locations, if you see marks out in front of your property, please do not remove the flags. That's safety for our digging purposes. Staff has also been out pothole patching in town. We started in Deer Creek. We went through the tipped areas, and we're currently working on the north side of town. Due to the weather being so mild, we are seeing an increase in areas needing patching. We continue day to day as the weather holds out. Staff has completed 3 light repairs, 2 at Public Works from an accident that happened earlier towards the end of the year, and we replaced a light on the side of the Village Hall building that appears never was added to the building, which is heavily needed. And we currently have 13 other outstanding light issues, 6 of which are just about completed, and the other ones will be called in and completed within the next few months. Staff is definitely behind on vehicle maintenance. We have an aging fleet. A lot of our vehicles, our current dump trucks and stuff that we use for everyday usage are any from watering brakes to plowing. We have 4 major trucks. 2 of them are 1990s. One is a 94, one's a 98. The 98 currently has a hydraulic issue and a dash cluster issue. We're currently having more problems with that one than we thought we would, being the newer one. Our 2 1990s, the dump bodies in those trucks are in very poor condition because of the age and the years of being used. One we're trying to update. Hopefully we'll be able to budget for a new vehicle to replace the other one. And the final thing is we have a lift cylinder on one of the trucks that we have to replace. This will be an aged part and a price that we have to get a quote on that. So we still have the fleet working, but it's working off and on, so as the storm comes in, we will be doing maintenance on those vehicles. And the last item is we had 3 different snow events. These were only saltable events. We did have some plows out, touching up a few areas where we had some drifting or open areas. And we made our first purchase of our 100 tons of salt, which our allotment, we have to purchase 80% this year. Currently we have 220 tons to take. And hopefully, not that we need the snow, that we'll have a little bit of that used up so we can put it all in storage. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Community Development Director Tanya McCoy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Community Development Department has been working towards solutions for our the abandoned and vacant properties here in the village. I've met with nonprofit organizations, economic development corporations, and the South Suburban Land Bank. We plan to implement some of these options spring 2020. That concludes my report.
Thank you. I'm going to go back to the report of officers. I want to ask for a report from our village attorney.
For the report, Mayor, there's a couple things for executive session. I would note, I stopped in my office before coming here, the February issue of the IML review. It's known as your village clerk, right? Right in the front. So there's a picture there.
I saw that. I showed it to her, but you, okay.
Oh, did you? Okay.
But, you know,
We have,
I guess autographs will do at the end.
a number of items in executive session.
Okay. Thank you. Reports of trustees, standing committees, and comments. Public Safety Committee, trustee Gary Bell.
Thank you, Mayor. The safety committee will be meeting on February the 18th, 2020, here in Rotunda.
Is that Michael?
Hello? I've been working with Maggie, trying to get generator for the, the gas power generator for the back building, for the community center, in case we have to store people, house people, and on a better note. Me and Chief Barrett's been working with the National Department of Natural Resources on excess equipment they have, and we can get one for free if possible. So we're working on that, all the paperwork's been submitted. And that will conclude my report, Mr. Mayor. One more. I want to give that man all the praise in the world for what he's done to that fire department. Unbelievable.
Okay, I'm sorry, Public Service Committee, trustee Bernice Brewer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As of January 2019, there has been 20 water main breaks for the entire year, 2019 to December 31st, 2019. There have been 20 water main breaks. We have 4 additional fire hydrants that have to be repaired. That's going to be added onto the list. We don't have the list for the street lights because that's being converted over by Gerald. I want to add some clarity to a comment I made last week where I said that we had money for infrastructure repair. What I meant was we got the $943,000. We don't know when we're going to get the money. The $500,000 of that has been cited for earmarked for fire hydrants. So just to clear that up, because somebody asked me about it. Also, I want to save my comment for when we go into executive session, and that's the end of my comment.
Okay. Budget and Finance, trustee Roger Grant.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. 2 comments. My first comment is that I asked Mr. Fletcher if we can start, kind of getting together and kind of going over the budget for next year. I know it's a little early, but not still too early, because even in the policies that I hope to have passed, it says January, that we should start working on the budget for next year. So we should just start coming up with ideas and just getting our expenses in line to see, projected to see how we will do. And my other comment is that last week we did discuss the policy procedures at the committee meeting, and I'm still waiting for those written comments. You guys can send me your comments by Friday, because I would like to possibly address them at the next committee meeting, and we can go over the policy again. So that's going to be a work in progress, so please send me your comments by Friday. Thank you.
Thank you. Housing and Governmental Relations, trustee Sherry Zazeski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Unfortunately, this month I was unable to have a meeting due to my work schedule. I'll have a meeting in February. I'm looking at February 19th. And just to make a comment, I still have not received any of the information that I requested in November. There were certain questions, and I still have not got any of the answers. That concludes my report.
Okay, because I passed those out to the people that you, I passed them out to the different people, so you haven't got anything back. Okay. Yes, it has, and I sent them out when you reiterated the last time. Okay. I'm sorry, Ordinance Review Committee, trustee Linda Todd.
Thank you. The Ordinance Review Committee, we're looking to meet February 10th at 6 p.m. I need to check with the committee to make sure. I will actually give, if it's on the next committee meeting, I will be announcing it probably will be February 10th. But I asked the trustees last week at the committee on the whole, because we have a spending freeze and we got a spending and the hiring freeze ordinances, and I need for you to submit your comments, suggestions, so that at this February 10th meeting, we will discuss it, get it firmed up. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Public Events, trustee Deborah Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On the back table, you will see a flyer for Share the Love. It's our Valentine's for Veterans Valentine's Day. Imagine how a Valentine with a personal note from you and your family expressing your gratitude for their sacrifices they are making would make them feel as they're separated from their loved ones while protecting our families. You can either purchase your own Valentine or pick one up from the various sites from January 28th through February 5th. All Valentines must be in the envelope, unsealed and unaddressed. Return addresses are optional. All Valentines will be sent to the servicemen and women either currently serving or who have served in the past. Donations of blank Valentine's cards and stamps can be dropped off to the various designated sites. Homemade cards, particularly from children, are encouraged. If you have a friend or family member that you would like to ensure they receive a Valentine, please send the mailing info to dwilliams@saukvillage.org. The various veterans, Valentines for Veterans sites are the Sauk Village Municipal Center, the McConkey Public Library, and the Southland Voice located at 1712 South Dixie Highway, Lot 133rd in Crete. At the library and at the Village Hall, this box will be on display. There are blank Valentines at both locations, or you can bring your own. And when you fill it out, we just want you to complete the card and stick it in the box. We'll keep the envelopes, we'll address the envelopes, we'll mail the Valentines. We don't want anything sealed, we want everything open so we can take care of addressing them and make sure that they get in good hands. Currently, we have cards at both the library and the Village Hall. We have more cards on their way of various natures. We will have cards for kids to fill out. We have a blank card right now at the Village Hall and Library. You can write an actual note. And we have some homemade cards coming at the 1st of February that will also be at these locations. So you'll see a box like this. That means that's where you can turn in your cards. I really would appreciate it. We're trying to see if we can get maybe 200-300 cards out to the veterans. It will take a community to do that. And second of all, on the back table, there is a proposed 2020 calendar. And by proposed, I mean from now until December, some events that typically take place, some events that are already planned. A lot of them say, TBD, to be determined. Some of them might say tentative, because the Public Events Committee does not do all of these events, but the committee or the staff person or the elected official that is doing that event, once they confirm, then this calendar will keep changing. But temporarily, I'd like everybody to grab a calendar and get a general idea of the events that are already planned or will be in the works later on. And for the police chief and the senior committee, there's a couple of events I highlighted, these in your box, so we can ask if we can have the senior center on those particular dates, and as far as the police department, that national out, that we can work together with the police department. If anybody has any questions about the calendar or the Valentines for Veterans, please feel free to give me a call. I do plan on trying to spend just about every Tuesday at the Village Hall as much as possible as my schedule permits. Anyone have any questions, want to meet with me, pertaining to any particular village business, you're always welcome to email me at dwilliams@saukvillage.org or call me at 708-351-8922 or set up an appointment at the Village Hall, but predominantly I'll try to be here on Tuesdays. And thank you very much for your attendance tonight. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, reports of committees and commissions, Senior Advisory Council, Chairman Emmett Farmer.
Mayor, trustees, sorry for the late report. Just got back in town this morning. But next meeting for our Senior Advisory Council is Thursday, February 13th at 5 o'clock, and all are welcome. And right before the meeting at 4 p.m., we'll be hosting our first membership drive. Anyone who is 50 and older and would like to be a member of the Senior Center, you'll be enjoy some of the senior benefits at low or no cost, are welcome to come out. Remember, members have privileges. Also come out and join our seniors with breakfast Bingo every second and fourth Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. And I think it's in February at Oak Street. One of those Fridays going to provide lunch for our seniors. Also, Silver Sneakers is putting a program together to do some exercise classes. And they're probably going to be doing them on Friday right after the rest of the bingo. Also, seniors, don't forget game night every first and third Friday. Come for card games at the Midwest and other games from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Also, committee members will be teaching Midwest from 6 until 7 every first and third Friday for those who don't know how to play. And also, this coming, our next Midwest, which is on the 7th, we're gonna, we want you all to come out and invite people out. We're gonna give out free chicken wings. So all the teams to come out and play some games with us on that night. Also, seniors, be on the lookout for some exciting events coming for our seniors this year, including senior luncheons, casino trips, informational seminars, potlucks, chili cook-off, Rib Fest, and we got planning for a senior prom. And just really excited about this year. I think we're going to get a lot of senior participation. We're going to make a lot of seniors happy and a lot of seniors smile this year. And they're really going to be proud of us. And that's too small.
Thank you. In business, I have an ordinance here. No, I'm sorry, there's no unfinished business. Ordinance, I'll accept the motion, ordinance amending the salary of the village, of Sauk Village Treasurer, a requirement for a surety bond.
Second.
Moved by trustee Bell, second by trustee Jazinski. Any questions? Madam Clerk.
Trustee Grant?
Yes.
Trustee Jazinski?
Yes.
Trustee Todd?
Yes.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Bell?
Yes.
Trustee Brewer? Yes.
Motion carried. I have a motion on the floor for, I'll accept the motion for the accounts payable and disbursements for the amount of $437,640.58.
Second.
Moved by trustee Bell, second by trustee Jazinski. Any questions?
I'd like to make the comment to Mr. Finch. I'd like to say the payroll person, I'm sorry, the payroll person is doing an outstanding job. And I'd like to say, only thing I want to remind the department heads to make sure they initial off on their invoices and make sure that we have their receipt date. Otherwise, they're there, they're asking any question, they're just doing she's doing a fantastic job. I want to put that on record.
Thank you, and I will definitely let her know. And as far as the invoices not being signed, she has been instructed as of this week to put them back in the boxes. Now, with that being said, when you get the accounts payable list, the age report, and there's 90 days invoices, that's going to be part of the main reason why. So, we don't have the time to track it down in terms of signing invoices, so when they come in, they will go back to well, we don't sit back, we have to wait for the funds to be, if you come say invoice is not signed, it's a change in behavior.
Oh, okay. I thought it was very
Any other questions for the motion?
Trustee Jazinski?
Yes.
Trustee Todd?
Yes.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Bell?
Yes.
Trustee Brewer? Yes. Trustee Grant?
Yes.
Motion carried. I'll accept the motion to go into executive session for discussion of personnel matters, update and pending litigation. Collective bargaining matters, review executive board minutes, and employment and compensation as needed.
Second.
Moved by trustee Bell, second by trustee Jazinski. Madam Clerk.
Trustee Todd?
Yes.
Trustee Williams? Trustee Bell?
Yes.
Trustee Brewer?
Yes.
Trustee Grant?
Yes.
Trustee
Yes.
Motion carried.